Hello YouTube! Commander Ando here, bringing you Sakura Spirit. This must be a dating sim game, but I have done very little research, just decided to pick it up because I haven't played a game like this in a very long time. And let's begin. This is a blind playthrough, by the way. Every person has a dream they wish to pursue. Indeed. Yet, as people grow up, they often are forced to realize that obtaining that dream is just that, a childish illusion that is simply impossible to reach out for. At least, that's what most people say. Then, what about those who do accomplish their dreams? Are they merely incredibly lucky? Maybe. Every man has a dream they want to accomplish, says my dad. However, there is something really important you should know, my boy. That a real man doesn't give up on their dream no matter what overwhelming challenges they might face. Thanks, Dad. I still remember those foolish words my dad used to say, yet despite their silly nature, I found myself inspired by them. Ever since I was a child, I was interested in martial arts. Was I? Not really. Okay. It didn't matter whether it was following a match on the television or reading a manga about some heroic martial artist. It always been a dream of It always been a dream for me to become a martial artist someday. Of course, it was a bit childish to admit I wanted to learn martial arts to be able to be a hero. While at my age I already came to understand superheroes were a part of our imagination, I still held a desire to use my power for others' their sake. Is it just me or is the English a little funky? But it's fine. So are you telling me the Avengers are not real? That movie, that documentary that I watched in the theaters with loud music in the IMAX theater? Come on, that was fake? Is that what you're telling me? Just discretion. I know it's fake. My name is... Whoa, that's a funky name. Gushiken Takahiro. 17 years old, rising judo star, and no, that's not me doing some smug talking. I'm actually about to take part in a competition 2 weeks from now that could make or break my career at an international level. Of course, I was excited about the opportunity to finally accomplish my dreams and represent my country at a sport that I loved, but the same excitement also made me feel incredibly nervous. While those worrisome thoughts haunted my mind, a familiar voice, resounded from outside the window. Oi, Taka-kun. I'm guessing this is a girl. Get your butt in gear, Koyomi says that. Hi. Well, that's right. Luckily, I watched a lot of anime in the past to know anyways. I'll be right there, Koyomi. Not wanting to keep Koyomi waiting, I quickly dashed toward the front door to let her in, not even realizing that I was still in pajamas. Just a moment, Koyomi. Got to grab my shoes and then we can go to school. Aww. Really? I didn't know our school had a strict uniform or sleepwear policy. Dummy. Nice jammies, by the way. Did you borrow them from your mom? Koyomi, don't give me attitude. This is morning. I had some philosophical thoughts and some reflection on my dad's words. For a moment, my eyes drifted downwards, noticing that I was indeed wearing my pajamas. I let out a groan of annoyance and marched back towards my room. Bah! There's nothing wrong with my jammies. The Golden Knight is a famous comic book hero in the West. Besides, not everyone prefers to sleep naked like you. How do you know that? Or how do I know that? Wait. Yeah. Mumbling those words, I started stripping out of my clothes, seemingly not minding the presence of the girl behind me at all. Oh hey, Koyomi, you're pretty cute. Yeah. That happened one time. You know it was super hot that evening. And geez, warn me before you strip in front of me, you idiot. You didn't mind it when we were little. Perhaps you want me to turn around instead? Grin. No! Stop! Don't make me kick your ass. Let's see you try. Deciding I had teased her enough, I quickly pulled on my pants and resumed working on the remaining few items of clothing before I was suitably dressed for school. Save it. Sure. Why not? There you go. Saved. Return. Besides, I had a reason for being so distracted. You've been distracted a lot lately. What's going on in that hollow skull of yours? How dare you? It's that upcoming match. I got no idea how anyone can remain calm when an international career is at stake. I wouldn't be surprised if I started making up enough doomsday scenarios to fill up the apocalypse genre. Oh, right. The judo thing. I'm sure you'll do fine. I've seen some of your matches and you kick butt. And of course, if you're really worried, you could always pray. Pray? What? Don't tell me you don't know. It's one of the school's legends. There's some shrine up in the forest that if you pray to it, it will give you good luck. Ichikawa-san said that his sister prayed to it the night before her exam and she got 100%. You give too little credit to yourself, Ichikawa-san's sister. A shrine that is said to give you good luck? Sounds bogus to me, but at this point I'll be trying out anything, I guess. I guess I'm pretty desperate. Sorry. Maybe I'll talk to our classmates to get the location of that shrine. I'm not exactly in that mood to get lost in the forest and turn into a Japanese Tarzan. Well, whatever. If you do go looking, maybe I should try doing a different voice for these characters. It's gonna be one main character guy and then a bunch of girls. I don't really want to do girl voices. So yeah, I'll just keep reading. If you do go looking, at least send me a message to let me know. Are you going to hurry up or are we going to be late again? A hero is never too early, nor are they too late. They arrive precisely when needed. But for the sake of missing detention, let us hurry. That's a wizard, not a hero. Don't tell me what I am and what I'm not. How can one person be such a sports nerd and such a geek at the same time? Let's not forget the Casanova and the Man of the Year candidate bits. They are important details. I doubt you qualify as either of them, Pajama Boy. Anyway, let us boldly go where everyone has gone before. To school. Ugh. Nerd. How dare you. Several hours later and lots of time passed by. It happened during the afternoon when I finally had the chance to talk to my classmates in an attempt to get an idea where that shrine Koemi had mentioned before had been located. Gym was the last thing on the menu for today, so once we started getting ready to go home, I approached the guys. Hey, Ichikawa! Oh, that's me. Never mind. Hey, Ichikawa, I gotta do a cool voice for myself. Is it true? I don't have a cool voice. Is it true that your sister discovered some shrine that is said to grant you some good luck? Oh ho ho, let me guess. You also want to date her. Well, even though I do have to admit she's very attractive, I'm afraid she's already going out with someone. What are you talking about? Not to mention, you're not her type. I already got my hands full dealing with Koemi. You can keep your sister where she is. Jokes aside, I'm more interested in that shrine. Did she mention where she found it? I didn't know there was anything near the forest aside from the dojo. I'm gonna if I see something that kind of sounds wrong to me, I'm gonna correct the English as I read, assuming I could catch it fast enough. So don't mind me. Oh, well, she said something about it near the river. And quite high up. I'll be honest, I didn't pay too much attention when she was going on about it. Ichikawa, you failed me. I mean, she was wearing this top and it was tight. And is this your sister you're talking about here? Stop! We don't need to hear the details. I doubt anyone wants to hear you daydream about your sister, my friend. Yeah, don't daydream about your sister. Anyone else who heard about this shrine before? Are you two talking about the lucky shrine in the forest? Yes, the one and only. There's supposed to be one near a river according to Ichikawa's sister. I don't know about that, but there's this fiery girl at the Sakura Dojo who knows more. Wait, are you talking about Arya-sama? Small, strong, and scary? That's the one. Oh. Excuse me. Oh. Yeah, it's an exclamation mark. Then I can be of a bit more help. Takahiro-kun? I know where that place is. I don't think Arya senpai will like it if you end up visiting her with your usual tricks in mind. Do I need to remind you what happened last time you tried to peek at her after she finished her training? Okay, so my friend here is a bit of a perv. Good deal. There was blood, sweat, and tears, all from you probably. Shut up! I do not go peeking there. That's slander, that is. I could sue you! Try it. I do not look into the changing rooms after practice whenever Yasama is showering. Oh, then you haven't seen her naked yet? I've seen a bit of side boob, but the knothole I found doesn't really let me get a good view up. There we go. Someone call the cops. Peeping Ichikawa has confessed. I playfully patted Ichikawa's shoulder while I turned around, grabbing my bag in the process while I prepared to leave. Anyway, thanks for the tip, Ichikawa. I'll let the judge know you were most helpful during the interrogation. This is unfair. I was coerced. I won't say anything. God, I'm sorry. I won't say another thing until I speak to my lawyers. And time passes. I have no idea what kind of gameplay I'm expecting here, because I've never really played a dating sim, although I have an idea of what it would be like. That's a nice looking place though, for sure. After school was over, I decided to bet my chances on the little girl. Oh my god, I cannot read. After school was over, I decided to bet my chances on the little bit of intel I had obtained from my classmates. If my memory served me right, then Arya senpai was about to be practicing at the dojo today. Of course I knew her. In the end, she was a judo student like me, but for some reason I heard that she declined the invitation to compete in a serious tournaments ever since the certain event happened. Mysterious, indeed. Arya senpai, are you around? While I shouted her name, I parked my bike at the nearby stall and looked around for her. Hua! Yeah! Yeah! Hey, follow the shouts and you find the senpai. I grinned briefly as I saw my senpai, seemingly being occupied with the practice of a series of motions, almost as if she was fighting an imaginary opponent. Perhaps it was a perfect opportunity to get close to her and surprise her a little bit. Slowly I snuck over, making sure to make as little noise as possible before I reached with the handle to her shoulder. Arya, at the touch against her shoulder, Arya senpai reacted. She grabbed my hold of my hand and with a loud grunt shifted her weight, curling and tipping me over her shoulder. I had a feeling this would happen. This is such a typical anime. Anyways, it was all I could do to brace myself for impact as I hit the ground like a sack of potatoes. Yeah, no one sneaks up on the great Kunoichi Arya. Oh, Takabozu. How dare you? I didn't realize it was you. I'm sorry, are you okay? Kunoichi. More like a Tasmanian devil. That throw didn't hold a shred of mercy in it. There's no mercy in the ring, Takabozu. Better you learn that lesson now than in 2 weeks' time. Let me guess, you want to do some sparring, right? I actually came here to ask you something, but perhaps a little sparring wouldn't hurt after that. Huh. Arya senpai, she's kinda cute. Oh? What do you want to ask? We've got all afternoon for the sparring, and I could do with a little bit of a break anyway. Where to start, senpai? You used to take part in the big and important matches. Didn't you get nervous before the big moment? Oh yeah, ha! This one time I got so nervous I hid in the kitchen cupboards until Dad found me and dragged me to the car by my collar. Of course, that was when I was like 8 or so. Well, obviously I can't go and hide for my match, but some friends of mine made this rather silly suggestion. Excuse me. Ugh. To go and pray or something. Honestly, at this point I'd take anything if it calms my nerves a little. Takabozu, are you sure about this? You mean the match? Of course I am. I've been practicing judo ever since I could walk. This is my best chance to represent this country and in the sport I love too. Senpai seemed to think for quite a long time, all the while tapping at the side of her jaw with a finger. Eventually she snapped her fingers and grabbed hold of me tightly. Alright, How did she grab me? What kind? In what posture? Anyways, all right. I'll tell you the way to the shrine, but it's not just going to be a simple clap your hands together and bob your head. What do you mean? You need to give something to the shrine, something of worth. I guess I'll figure that out by the time we get there. Anyway, thanks, senpai. I appreciate it. We? Oh, no, Takabozu. I'm not going with you. I've got training to do myself. Besides, you've got to take the step yourself. I can give you a map and an easy way to get back here, but you'll be on your own. Suspicious. Ah, you're not taking along? Guess it be my own adventure to undertake. Afraid so, Takabozu. Let me just grab some paper. I'll draw out your map. After Aria's return, I followed the directions the map had given me. Surprisingly enough, it wasn't all that fair. The tip to get back if I got lost was a little sketchy. Just look down, and you'll be able to see the dojo roof from anywhere on the hill. Seriously. The forest nearby the dojo was my first challenge to overcome. A lone path coiling. I don't see a path. Where's the path? A lone path coiling along the trees, and there was even the river Ichikawa's sister had mentioned in the distance. Of course, I decided to stay with my senpai's directions, and after an hour or so, I arrived at the shrine. It's a long trek. The shrine itself seems surprisingly well maintained, despite being in the middle of nowhere. It made me wonder if someone secretly lived here. Perhaps some secret martial arts master already daydreams of a potential hermit having hidden themselves in the shrine to prepare themselves for an upcoming clash between good and evil started to dwell in my mind. God, I'm such a nerd. And yet, nobody is around. I sighed in annoyance at the fact that the shrine grounds seemed to be entirely abandoned. It was mysterious how the building seemed well maintained, but for the time being, I decided to focus on the reason why behind my visit. It sounds like some kind of anime, doesn't it? It took only a few moments before I gathered the courage to enter the temple. I'm starting to lisp a little bit. Itself and inside found a rather fancy-looking shrine of sorts at the back of the hall. Yeah, this place is really nice, actually. You sure no one lives here? Guess that's the shrine everyone's talking about. Silently, I folded up the map I was given, and after putting it inside my bag, approached the shrine. I was kind of skeptical about the whole religious aspect, so I didn't hold too much confidence in the idea of some shrine granting me the luck I would need to win this match. In fact, I don't really think luck is going to help much in a match like this. I agree. So why are you here? In my opinion, martial arts didn't hold any place for luck. A match was all about using the knowledge and using the knowledge you gathered from the experiences you obtained in the previous matches and a nice bit of talent to help you guide you through the match. Well said. There was simply no room for something superstitious like luck, quote unquote. Clearly, this would be a match where my experience and talent would be tested against that of my opponent. Nothing more and nothing less. How curious. Oh, what was that? The boy doesn't believe in superstition, yet this child of man stands here in a place of power, surrounded by the very thing he denounces. Upon hearing the voice, I looked around, trying to find the source, but there was no one to be seen. Who's there? A classic question to ask, and yet the right thing to ask would be, where am I? What do you mean? Obviously you're here, hiding nearby. Perhaps, but entertain me for a little longer. Why did you come here, if you do not believe in things like luck? I came here to prepare myself. Oh, do enlighten me about this something. Might be that you are preparing yourself, or I felt a little annoyed at the questions, but perhaps if I kept talking to her, I would be able to find out where that girl was hiding. I'm preparing for a competition, a judo match. Judo? What's that? Seriously, you don't know what judo is? It's a highly skilled combat art. People nowadays, ignorance. Aha! So you're a warrior, hesitant to go into battle, and came here in hope of finding the resolve to fight. I'm not sure about the warrior part. How fortunate. It just happens that there is need for one of your kin. My kin? A hero. This shrine is meant to bless heroes like yourself. However, every great hero has to sacrifice something in return for the shrine's blessing. Sounds like what the others mentioned. However, I do like your version more. Laughing briefly at the story the hidden girl was telling me about the shrine, I decided to play along and clap my hands together in a prayer. So who's next? Or what's next? Toss my allowance into the praying box? Don't be silly. Money is of little importance to a hero. For you, the sacrifice will be something much more interesting and precious to you. I'll look forward to see what destiny has in store for you. As if on cue, the moment the girl's words reached my ears, I felt nauseous, like my head was spinning wildly. Slowly, I staggered backwards, collapsing onto my back. And while my vision started to grow hazy, I heard footsteps approaching me. Oh, fuck. Hello? Big-breasted, scantily clad lady. Good luck. You're going to need it. Despite my attempts to get back up, all I could do was briefly look up at the girl. And grow a boner, probably. The sight of the horns and tail made me wonder if she was cosplaying as some sort of anime character, but before I had the chance to say anything, my vision was consumed entirely by darkness. Intriguing, but can't say I was not expecting. The rays of sunlight that glared into my face stirred me back to consciousness, a groan of annoyance leaving my mouth while I tried to get back on my feet. I felt a bit dizzy, but the first thing I noticed was that I was no longer within the shrine. Rather, it looked like the forest that was surrounding the dojo. Of course, my first thought was to look around to see if I could find the same girl from before, but not a trace of her presence had lingered behind. To make things even more curious, the old worn-down path that I had followed amidst the trees was better maintained than I remembered. Maybe I should head home. That was cut short when the sound of several female voices came from nearby. Get back here! Hikage, stop them at once! Stern voice. Just what exactly do you think I'm doing? I'm chasing them. I'm trying to stop them. Yeah. Sorry. I think they spotted what's missing, One-sama. Keep running, Chibiko. Chibiko, for those that don't know, is like tiny kid. Chibi is like cute and small. Cute, I think. Not cute, but small. So, small kid. And we just might escape. Oh, someone's running. Just when I thought this day couldn't get any weirder, there came the sound of heavy footfalls from the forest nearby. Hello? What in the world's going on here? Just a little bit away from the path I was walking on, I saw a pair of girls being chased by another pair of girls. However, there were two things I noticed that didn't make any sense for me. The first detail was that the girls being chased had ears and tails of a fox. Indeed. And the other being that the girls doing the chasing were armed with a katana and naginata. Indeed. I have an idea of what happened. Conniving kitsune. Conniving kitsune as in fox. I get it. Come back here at once. Return what you stole immediately. Give me my What? Give me back my panties, Naginata girl. Excuse me? Hihihihi, Kage! How could you blurt out something like that? Okay. Ha ha ha! Panties, panties! Why do fox girls want panties? Ha ha! Oh no! Help save us from this rampaging women! From the rampaging women. While the girls had ran away, seemingly into the direction the shrine was located at, I couldn't help but find myself struggling with the decision to just leave them be. While I didn't know what in the world was going on the fact two of the girls were armed with rather realistic looking props. For surely they couldn't be real. Indeed. I couldn't call myself a hero if I let such a scene go by without acting. I'm so going to regret this. Mumbling in annoyance, I started chasing after the girls. Hikage, go around to the left! Right? Left! Why do you always undermine me? Oh. Oh, Kami. Oh god. I wasn't saying right. I was... You know what? Never mind. Just run after them! Ah. While I was chasing after the girls, I noticed the trees seemingly were getting a little bit denser, making it more difficult to navigate along the path. One-sama, I don't think I can run much more. I'm starting to get a little... Just a little longer, Maiko-chan. We're almost... Maiko! Maiko, not a headache, not now. Huh. Just, soaking in the anime characters. They're proportionately quite different from what I imagined. But anyways, so sorry, One-sama. Scissor attack! I arrived just in the time to find a scene straight from an action movie. The fox girl with the blonde hair had collapsed, seemingly being held up on her companion's lap. The two armed girls were approaching them, almost unmistakably with killing instincts running amok. Any martial artist could feel that. Those two girls were going to be in for a beating if I didn't stop them. We've got you now, thieves. I'm going to personally drag your butts back to town and have you both stopped. Maybe I'll even see how you feel running on without any undies on. Oh, you're the one that got their undies stolen. Oh, both of them? Yeah. Although I must admit, having a breeze down there does feel kind of nice. Oh, they both don't have panties on. Keeps me feeling refreshed and a little bit tingly. So, redhead, pink haired, whatever she is, a little bit on more of the likes to explore. Wow, this is taking a lot. This is a lot of reading. Anyways. Ikage, goodness, you have no shame, do you? This is about your nethers. This is about the panties and bras stolen, and these two criminals being brought to justice. Oh, Nessa, my head hurts. My head hurts. It's going to be okay, Chibiko. Hey, you guards! If you're so desperate to have your underwear back, then here, catch! Stop right there! Chotto mate, as a Japanese person would probably say. However, before I was able to interrupt the conversation, the silver-haired fox girl tossed a pair of panties into the air. It seemed whatever they were, the two samurai girls were flustered by the tossed projectile. A projectile whose trajectory was heading straight to my face. Oh, good anime. Ugh, I'm blinded! Who the hell tosses a... Peeling off the projectiles from my face, I raised them lightly into the air like a professor examining an important sample, while at the same time, the fox girls made their escape. A pink bra and lacy black panties. Oh boy, I just knew this wasn't going to end up well. Ah! You there! Are you in cahoots with these crafty kitsune? Give those back immediately. Those are evidence of a crime and not for anyone else to touch. What crime are we speaking of? Did someone steal something from your nethers? Drop the panties right now! I'm innocent until proven guilty. One of the golden rules of court. Now stop pointing those weapons at me so I can hand over your undies without being turned into kebab. What? No, stop, shut up. You just drop the evidence and walk away. I am Tsukino Mio, chief of the village guards, and I am ordering you to drop what you're holding right now. I don't know of any village guards, and I seriously doubt a cop would go around dressed like that and wielding a katana. You know the girl on the left, her uniform's kind of schoolgirlish, so it's not exactly in the past because her clothes are too modern, it seems like. More importantly, the ground is muddy and dirty. You're sure I should drop the evidence? I mean, I could, but yeah! Before I could react, the pink-haired woman lunged towards me, the spike of her nugget aiming at my gut. My reflexes caught just in time, and I was able to palm away the spear as it sailed through the air. I struck upwards on the wooden shaft of the weapon, sending it up into the air and unbalancing the woman. Narumi! I did not order you to attack. Fine, I'll give them back. Geez, just my luck. To find the girls with weapons to be the tsundere type ones. Deciding to extend the hand I held the girls at their undies, I tried to hand them over. Something like that I would soon end up regretting. Ha! thinking I'd fall for something so simple, fool. You may have fooled me once, but not twice. The woman swung her weapon wide, arcing the thick wooden pole into my side before I could dodge. She then lunged forwards and grabbed me tightly, pulling my arms around my back, leaving me with sore ribs and a prone position. I could have fought back, but figured it would only lead to more fighting and possibly being stabbed, which I could do without. So I remained passive. You know, this guy's personality is a little different from mine. Breaking my immersion. Whatever. The sword-wielding girl stepped forwards and grabbed silky underwear from my hand triumphantly. Your methods might be crude, but they get results, Hikage. Bind his wrists. We'll bring him in for questioning. He probably knows where those pesky thieves have been hiding. Right. And people wonder why criminals would resist at all costs. I mumbled weakly while I watched the girl with the naginata tie my wrists, together with some rope she had concealed somewhere. I hope it was meant for actual criminals, and soon felt myself dragged by the duel toward the direction of the city. Surely, once we arrive at the city, you two will stop this role-playing of yours and let me go home, right? As much as I like to fool around, I got more important things to do. The city? Ha! We're not taking you all that way. You'll spend the day in the village cells, thief. Who are you calling a thief? I'm a victim. First they tossed undies in my face, then I had to deal with physical abuse, and now even slander. Besides, there's no village around those parts. It's the city, you know. Tsuki no Toshi. Silence, Hikage. If he speaks again before we get to the village, you have my permission to knock him unconscious. Tsundere tyrant. Heh, heh, that's funny. And that's how I was on my way to a jail cell, cuffed and dragged by two girls that I started to suspect were pretty much crazy in the head. I wonder what a good ending point for this episode is going to be. When we left the forest behind, oh my god. The city I had lived in my whole life, it was gone. You got to be kidding me. If I wasn't in Tsukino Toshi then where the hell did my hometown disappear to? Hey, no talking, come on, I don't want to bop you that much, kinda, maybe a punch or two. You're a violent girl. I just want to know the heck you blocked my strike so easily. Your attack had a lot of power behind it, but it was a little bit predictable. Just the right movement, enough pressure behind a counter, and that was the result you saw. But anyway, let me play along for a bit. Where in the world are we? This clearly isn't my hometown. Clearly. I'm from a sophisticated world, you know, but this is a nice, lovely village. I mean, the buildings look more like they could be in some sort of classic samurai movie. Huh? The heck is a movie? This is Harumaru. It's been here for years. Hikage, I thought I told you to silence him if he spoke. Actually, you told me that I could do it, but you didn't tell me that I had to. You know, I like Narumi. Must be tough being her subordinate. Be silent, or I will silence you for good. This time it seemed not to be an idle threat, for the girl unsheathed her katana and rested the tip of her blade against my throat. I already started to regret having played the hero earlier. Hopefully there would be someone with more common sense in the village. Several minutes later. I soon found myself confined within a small room, the stern-looking tsundere tyrant glaring down at me while the other girl, seemingly called Narumi, had least softened up a little. From what I had gathered during their conversation, they had called the village elder to help oversee my questioning. What purpose did these thefts have? Are you just some perverted guy who gets off sniffing girls' undies? I ought to cut them off. No, please, do not cut them off. I already told you I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, not to mention anything worn by you would likely smell burnt or taste sour. Wow, Takahiro. Wow. Wow. I couldn't see too well from the cell where they had put me. But I was almost certain I could hear Narumi laughing nearby. I like Narumi. Tsukino Dono, please calm down, probably. You brought him in to learn the reason behind his presence in the forest, right? That is correct, Hayate-san. I believe he was working with the Kitsune to steal panties, and other underthings. Objection! Phoenix Wright style. Huh. What are you objecting to, sir? The evidence surrounding the defendant's accusation is fabricated. Narumi-san, could you please answer the question for your judge? Was the defendant, aka myself, anywhere near the kitsune while you two were chasing them? Hold it! I hope I'm not blowing the microphone audio. Just who are you calling the judge here? Stop shouting or I will strike you down! Hey, Mio-san, maybe the whole angry accusation thing isn't working. This guy is clearly not a bandit nor a threat. We could ask him why he was up there in the woods. If he has a valid reason, then sure. If not, then he's a panty thief, and we'll use him as a punching bag in the yard. I like Narumi. Finally, and here I thought this was about to become a turnabout case. I sighed deeply, partly amused at how despite the serious situation, I was able to remain calm by acting like several characters I've seen in movies or games I've played before. As long as I wouldn't become an ace prisoner, things would hopefully end up well. A wise idea, Narumi. How about you start by giving us your name? Gushiken Takahiro. So why were you inside the forest while our village guards were chasing a pair of thieves? I'm not entirely sure myself. One moment I was praying at a shrine hidden inside the forest, and the next moment I know some weird girl starts talking to me. A girl? Yes, a girl with horns and scaled tail. I know it sounds odd, but I could have sworn I saw her before I fainted, and then I woke up inside the forest. Tsukino Dono, Narumi Dono, or Chan. Do you two recall the stories behind the shrine near our village? Forgive me, Hayate-san, I do not recall. I know you said it was a place of high spiritual energy, a sacred place, but I can't remember everything. Sorry, Oji-san. That shrine belongs to Tsuyuri, a powerful spirit that has watched over our village for as long as we can remember. There's a reason why, unlike the kitsune, we tend to avoid going deep into the forest. I still think those pests would be gone for good if you just let me go and find their home. Probably some damp cave on the hill or dilapidated old wooden house. Humans and spirits rarely mingle well, and even if they meet with good intentions, the fact that this lad says that he saw a spirit, there is a chance he was there for a reason. Not to mention, did you take a good look at him? He seems disoriented and almost out of this world. He did seem to be talking gibberish. He claimed to be from a city near here, but there's nothing like that for miles around. He was also talking about something weird called a move, and he knows martial moves that I've never seen even before. You know, I thought judo was a pretty old art style. He is still a pervert. You're not wrong. I'm not a pervert. A guy of my age is innocently curious, aka a pervert. It's perfectly natural. Besides, if you're talking about the panties they were tossed to my face, I had nothing to do with them, Tsundere Tyrant. What did you just call me? I had to smash you to pieces, you brat. Oh, wait, now that I think about it, those two kitsune did look like they were just abandoning the panties, but Oji-san, what does SR mean? I'm not certain. However, I believe it's unlikely that he's working with the kitsune. I still have never heard about a human meeting a spirit like Tsuyuri. I would almost be bold enough to declare him as someone who isn't from our world. Wait, you're trying to say that I'm in a different world now? That would be the most logical explanation. But I've got an important match to take part in 2 weeks from now. Well, none of us have ever experienced a situation like this before, so we'll have to think about how to deal with you, or even if it's possible to get you back to your world. In the meantime, a stay in the cell for a few hours will not hurt him. He did assault one of the village guard, and he resisted arrest. He can stay here until he rots for all I care. Thanks, Tsundere Tyrant. But I suspect the elder will wish to talk with you once you are done here. I thought I was talking to the elder right here. Hikage, I am going for a wash. I suggest you do the same. I would take offense at that, implying that I stink. Narumi, you're a clever little girl, but I have a feeling she's kind of dumb at the same time. But then again, I think it's Tsundere Tyrant that's actually really a little too blind. But that was a hell of a run. Those fox girls can run fast. I still want to know more about those techniques, Takahiro-san, if you could. If you do happen to stick around, I might want to go a few rounds with you. Do tell. What kind of rounds are we talking about? Innuendo. Not that I'll be able to go anywhere else for the time being. It's only for a few hours so we can discuss how to deal with you. Obviously, one like yourself would raise quite some questions about the villagers, so we need to convince them first that you're no threat. And that was how I found myself stuck in a jail while the guards responsible for my situation decided to leave me within my cell. What misfortune. As if being sent to a different world wasn't bad enough, I'm now stuck in a jail with only my company being a pair of beautiful, magnificent, majestic sisters, you lucky boy. A pair of beautiful... Wait, what? Yeah, Yahoo! Sorry. Hi there, panty boy! As I watched, a familiar face appeared at the top of my cell, a blonde woman with golden eyes. I thought this would be a good place to stop. As I watched, she flipped over and landed in front of the cell, waving her hands at me. From the side of the cell, like the other one appeared, a wry grin on her face. God, you're pretty cute. Ah, it's the Undies Archers. If you come to reclaim your hostages, they are already back where they belong. Nope. We saw the guards go into the pool and swipe the maiden's silk again. See? At that, she pulled out a pair of lacy silken underwear from her sleeve and stretched it with her thumbs, showing off her panty prize to me. You came back all the way to this village to snatch the underwear again? Besides, I wouldn't call one of them a maiden. The Sundaretan doesn't fit that bill at all. Penny smells like burnt shit. The cutie with the katana? You would be quite surprised, actually. I happen to believe that she has not even felt her own touch, let alone any. Oh. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining me on this slightly long intro run of this game. I don't even know if this game will be consistently about just reading like this. I'm guessing this is just introducing the characters and everything. So, and also I wasn't really reading very well. It's, jibber jabber here and there, messing my own words up here and there. I will definitely put some chapstick on because my lips are incredibly dry while reading. Thanks everyone for giving this video a chance. Episode 2 coming shortly. And thank you. Please feel free to leave any comments about what you would like to see in this series, if anything in particular. Bye.